Back to you now on your Monday, and today is Women Veterans Day, and it marks the 75th anniversary of the Women's Armed Services Integration Act, allowing women to serve full-time in the United States Army. While it's a day to honor the work of women in the armed forces, the Army faces many challenges, including a recruiting shortage across the country. The Army fell short 15,000 people in 2022, 15,000. That's 25% of its target, and predicts that it will come up 10,000 soldiers short this year. And the Army, by the way, it's not alone either. Other branches are all preparing to miss their recruiting goals by thousands this year as well. So we want to welcome in Sergeant First Class Samantha Villafuerte, and recruiter for the United States Army. Good morning to you, and thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
I want to delve into your story because I always think it's remarkable when Americans have this calling to join. You were a junior in high school.
That's correct, ma'am.
Tell me your story and what some of the pillars of the Army that were most appealing to you to join.
I actually joined when I was 17. I was a junior in high school. The biggest reason why I joined was my father was a military veteran, and just hearing his stories and the chance to be able to serve. And I'll be honest with you too, it pays for college. So I was able to go on a full ride thanks to the Army.
It's provided a life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. And I know that you've also said you've credited your deployment to Afghanistan to becoming a better woman. What all did you take away from that, and what all have you taken away from your time in the military?
That's a great question. I was actually 26 years old when I first went to Kandahar, Afghanistan, and I was in charge of a platoon of 19 soldiers. So I had to grow as a woman, as a leader, mature, and take care of everyone else besides myself. So that helped me grow just mentally and become more tough too. So it was a great experience. I'm very thankful that myself and my platoon was able to come back safely. So I'll never forget that experience. It helped shape me as the woman I am today.
It's such a selfless thing to do for family, for country. Let's talk about recruiting problems. I know you and I were just talking before we went live with this, that you go around to high schools and you hear that there is such a shortage. Why is that the case?
I think the biggest thing is the education behind it. A lot of the youth aren't educated about why it's important to serve or the great benefits that we have. That's why it's important for my role to be able to go into colleges and universities and talk to the next generation just so they're more aware, because a lot of the generation thinks that the Army or the military is just based on TikTok or social media views or movies that they've seen. So being able to have a chance to talk to them actually changes their mind a little bit and opens them up to that.
And we only have a few seconds left, but when you go into these high schools, is there that interest there still that there was when, you know, maybe you were in high school?
Yeah,
or is it a different time and it's harder to convince?
What's crazy is there is an interest. There are young women and men out there that want to serve and really want to change their life or transform their life as well, or even pay for college. So, yes.
Well, Sergeant First Class Samantha Villafuerte, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And your time here is so appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.